I know. Hi, guys.
So we'll get to chat and go to my YouTube channel.
Okay.
I'm at the Let's Talk It Up podcast YouTube.
Is it going to be there as well, Jess?
We're gonna let's see.
It's not up.
I'm trying to stream with it. Let's go to Let's Jazz It Up.
Oh, it's gonna be on yours.
It's supposed to be on both, but
I think you can just add another channel.
I did. It's just I think it says it takes 24 hours to.
Oh, mine's live.
Oh, cool. Let me see if mine is. Oh, guys, this is so fun.
YouTube channel?
Yeah. It's live on my YouTube.
Okay, let me see if I did it right too.
Oh, guys, this is.
Well, that's mean if they won't let me be live on the new YouTube channel.
Wow.
So we have 12 people watching. So everybody, this is the live stream. So we want to be doing podcasts live. Come up here and talk to us with your whatever you think or comes to mind about the topic. We would love to actually read your comments. So, get up here and comment with us. I see there's some people watching. I'm going to switch my channel.
Guys, we are literally live on 3 channels at once. Okay, why am I acting so excited about this? Technology is
supposed to be 4 channels.
I know. I love this though.
Oh my God, Joe! I saw a property in Elijah, Georgia, for $249,000. So maybe you should look at that. All right. You guys see the comments coming in?
I do. Wait, let me see.
I only see one. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Rosalind.
So wait, is it syncing all of our comments too? Because that'd be kind of crazy too.
There is a way you can sync it, but I forget how.
No worries. This is cool.
It's only syncing my comments.
Okay.
So we can figure out later how to get everybody else's comments synced. But what I do is you could just switch them back and forth between your screens to see what other people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, did you close on or did you put your offer in on that property that you were talking about? So we have 12 people watching already. Anybody on y'all's end?
Oh, let me look.
I see 2 people watching.
Yay! Hi.
Guys, we're a little we're just getting it together, so bear with us in our first episode today.
Also, the reason that we're not together in the same room is because I'm stuck in Tennessee trying to get my properties situated. We just closed today, so oh my God, yay, Jay! You're Joe. You're under contract. You closed February 11th. I'm so excited for you. We finally closed on our property today, Joe. I'm exhausted. I've been out all day. So we're going to wait for a few more people to come in. 13 people now, 2 on Nija's section. What about you, Tiff?
I have none.
We're all starting.
It's okay. We here. We out here.
So this is our first podcast. We're going to be live streaming it so everybody can actually comment on the subjects that we're talking about and maybe even get someone to call in.
Oh my, that would be so cool.
Yes. So let's start introductions. My name, of course, is Jasmine. You're following me on Let's Jazz It Up. We're going to be putting this on my second channel for the podcast, which is Let's Talk It Up.
I know.
With all 3 of us, 3 completely different girls who kind of have the same views, but also may disagree on certain things, who are on their own track on life to become entrepreneurs and be kind of like in the media, social media entrepreneurs who are going through life in a different way, but to get the same end goal, which is financial freedom. And I don't know, what else do we want in life?
Everything. Just kidding.
Exactly. Girls who are working for it. And the whole point of this podcast is to level up mentally, physically, emotionally, and what's the other one?
Spiritually.
So that's what we're going to be doing today. Tiff, go ahead and do your shout out.
Hey y'all, I sound so country, but I'm Tiffany. You can call me Tiffa, and yeah, my channels are at Tiffa GTV. That's TIFFA GTV. But my YouTube channel is Tiffany Gregory. I guess should I do a little synopsis? So basically, I am a multi hyphenated artist, as I would say. Though I have, 9 to 5 jobs, I work for BuzzFeed and now Nickelodeon. I also do my own social media producing, and I also make music. So I'm kind of like I said, multi hyphenated. So yeah, that's me. And thanks for joining. We're really excited to have y'all.
Nija?
I love this. I'm so grateful for you guys. Hi, everybody. My name is Nija. I am a YouTuber, content creator, life coach, dream life enthusiast. And so, yeah, I make content on YouTube. I enjoy travel, and my whole thing is consciously creating a lifestyle that you love. So, my whole thing is dream life embodiment, embodying that dream, highest potential version of yourself, that dream life version. So I'm really excited to hang out with you guys. I love these girls. I'm so excited for what we're going to do. We have so much in store for our futures, and we're going to talk about some things today.
Exactly. So today's topic is going to be opportunities. People who fail to notice opportunities or fail to see opportunities, people who are scared to execute on opportunities because they're in fear, and choosing not to take an opportunity because you've actually ran the numbers, you've thought about it, and deciding not to do it. It's a great opportunity or a good opportunity, but deciding not to do it because it doesn't fit your morals, your values, the path you're going down in life, all of that. So I thought this podcast would be opportunities. What do you guys think?
I love it. Let's get into it.
Exactly. So I think we should start off with maybe a question, Nija.
Okay, sure. So, ladies, what is the most recent opportunity that you've been presented with that you either did take or you didn't take, but you still might think about it? Whoever's first, kick it
I'll go
off.
first because I have one right off the top of my head. And this
Let's
is
hear
actually
it.
one I never really talk about with
Mhm.
people unless a specific question like this, right?
Mm.
And it was when a year ago, I guess, 2021, I would
Uh-huh.
guess, I got discovered on YouTube, my YouTube channel, and also my Instagram profile with my fiance.
Mhm.
And it was all about age gap relationships. I don't talk about my relationship on my channel, my main channel, because it's all about finances and going after your goals and stuff. And it's like, why am I talking about a man on that channel? So I made a separate channel way before I started doing financial stuff, and we were just posting about the struggles of having a really big age gap relationship, 17 years to be exact.
Mhm.
And cute vlogs, funny vlogs, but definitely clickbait vlogs about like, oh, he bought me a car. He really didn't buy me a car.
Oh,
Or, oh,
Lord.
he's buying me a house in Mexico, but he didn't really buy me a house in Mexico. But we did buy a car. We did go to Mexico. We were trying to find a house. It was just like a nice clickbait title though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And a show on, I don't think it was Discovery Network. I don't know if it was Lifetime Network. What do
Was
they
it
do nowadays?
TLC?
Where did they TLC? I think. I think it was
Yeah.
TLC.
Wow.
Where they do
Oh,
like
I just
90
knew
Day
that one.
Fiance. They do like those like love bachelor. I think I don't know. And
Yes.
I have
My
no.
mom, they
I'll
have.
even name drop I'll even name drop the TV channel that they were going to do for us. It was Married to Millions.
Ooh.
Wow.
I
I
Interesting.
remember
I
showing
watched it and it's actually very interesting. And I was like, oh, this would be so fun. This would be
Okay.
so fun. So I'll even tell you the contract that they were going to give us. We were
Uh-huh.
going to be paid $14,000, I think, to complete the show.
Okay. For how many episodes? Or
I
just
don't
one?
know, maybe 10, maybe
Oh, wow.
14. We didn't see how many episodes there was.
Yeah.
What we had to do was we had to get engaged on the show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We were not engaged at the time.
Oh, mhm.
and we were like going through some stuff. We were still trying to figure each other out. We were going through some bumps in the road, and he had made it clear he didn't want to get married, and I made it clear that I didn't care about getting married. So I was just like, okay, I'll talk to him about it. And then they threw this on me. He was like, yeah, sure. They paying us. I'll ask you to marry me. he was like, it's all for show, right? Reality TV's fake anyway, right? So he was on board with it. And then they said he has to make a big purchase on the show.
Like what?
People really agreed to this.
Yeah, they said they would pay for the wedding or the honeymoon or something as well for the show. But he had to make a big purchase, and he had to talk about how much money he made. Now he doesn't. It's called Married to Millions. He doesn't make $1 million. Like,
but he has to like pay for something. They should be paying for it.
Their show.
It had to be an extravagant gift.
Wow. Okay.
Extravagant, and I was like, he doesn't. Like, he makes money, but not like they told me to watch the first season. And I watched it, and I was like, oh no, like he makes great money, but he's not this. Like, these are like investors, they live in mansions, like they're talking about how they're the big oil companies, and I was like, oh no, we're not like that. And they were like, you just got to make it look like that.
Oh my.
Still wanted us to make that big purchase. They said, send in your tape. You're going to be already hired. We just need you to send in your audition tape. So I did the audition tape. But I think at the end of the day, I was like, in order for me to fit this brand, I would have to change who I am as a person, or what people perceived me to be interesting on a reality show. And I did not want to have to act out of character to get a spinoff, to make money. I didn't want to be perceived that way because I already had a following online. And I was like, I don't think we're going to do this one. They said, hey, we like you guys anyway. We'll keep you in our minds for other projects. And I was like, okay, cool. But it was like a really cool thing to see how they were pushing it, how they really wanted me on it, and they were going to make it work. But I was just like, I can't. This is an opportunity that does not fit my brand. I don't want it. It sounds messy with him having to do some things, me having to act a certain way and come up with some type of controversy. Like, they wanted people who disagreed with our relationship to be highlighted in the show. And I was like, that's not my brand. So yeah, I let that opportunity go to be on TV. And I actually have another story, but I'll let Tiffany go next if she has one.
You can't just like go over that.
Now you go.
We can't just like brush over that.
I know you gotta unpack this because let's talk it up.
Thank you. Like, you're not gonna be like, oh no, we're gonna move to the next person.
No,
okay.
Wait, you have the first question, Tim? Because
I
have
a question. You go ahead.
So how did you guys even like? How did you like see an advertisement online, or like how did you guys hear about this opportunity? How did you go about inquiring to be on this show?
They came to me. I've actually been offered a lot of different reality TV show opportunities because of my YouTube channel, because of my Instagram. But reality TV, although fake, people are so ingested in it, are so wrapped up in it, that they really believe that is really how your life is.
Right.
And we know that they play up or make these scenarios, but people go through life hating you because of it. And I was like, I don't want my brand to be this. So no, they DM'd me and said, I'm a producer. I want you on the show. She said I had the show. I had the spot. I just had to agree to the terms, and I didn't. Mike was ready though. But
that's the surprising part.
Huh?
It is very surprising to me as well that he would have been ready for it.
And he was on board.
Oh, he's always on board with stuff. You'd be so surprised what he's on board for.
Oh, guys, that's so cool. It is linked all together because somebody just, what is it called? Commented Chardonnay.
Joe says, I'm glad you didn't do that, Jazz. You're better than that, girl. If I didn't already build up this following of being positive and not being negative and just helping others out and not starting drama, and just being a lot of like powerful, giving you power, you taking your power back, I would totally do it just for fun, but I can't.
Okay. So let's in here. Let's say you did take it. So So like, what do you like? What are the scenarios? I feel like how did they tell you how they wanted you to act at all? Like
No, but they wanted us to have drama. They wanted us
just
to talk to
drama.
people who did not agree with our relationship. And the best type of TV is to be
Yeah,
snappy.
have something going.
And I'm pretty snappy. I'm Scorpio. And I was like, I don't want that. I'm trying to get rid of that side. I don't want it to be that side.
Oh no.
It would be mainly like his family. It would be his friends who had wives, and you would have to convince them to do it. So there wasn't really any drama in my life because I don't keep people in my life who drama.
Yeah.
They probably would have wanted you to like bring some drama, like
Yeah. But there's nobody in my life to be drama about. I could have my friends, but then you would have to be okay with you being perceived as that person
That's
online. Do you
That's
want to be perceived that way?
yeah. So that was a big
Yeah.
opportunity you passed up.
I could have been famous.
Do you okay? So now, do you feel like you made the right decision?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I don't regret any decision that I make when it comes to really sitting down and like, okay, do I want this or do I not want this? And I've always made the right decision. I was always comfortable in my decisions.
Okay. So Tiffany, do you have an example of a big opportunity that you did or didn't pass up on, and that might still haunt you?
I have like got to think. I feel like I have so many, but they're
Okay.
like not as dramatic as Jasmine's.
Yeah.
Like that's like super dramatic. I'm trying to think. So one opportunity I passed on. I really feel like I need to think about this for a second. Let's skip me for a second. Let me think about this.
All right. Well, I have one. Again, not as dramatic as Jasmine's, but so funny story. Jasmine and I actually became friends when we were in college. We used to sit next to each other in our fashion classes, right? And so around that time, I got the opportunity to go to Bali. I had a really incredible experience. This is how I got into social media and influencing. It was a huge transformational trip for me. So I actually ended up hitting it off really well with the girl Dea who was hosting the retreats, and she later went on to ask me to help her host another retreat that she was going to be hosting in Iceland. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. So yeah, so it came around time to like, buy the tickets and go to Iceland and go be with her. And I was not where I needed to be, and I did not take the opportunity. And I feel like it would have been, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like every time I travel, it's like everything just changes in my life as a result of being in a new place and new surroundings, relying on your instincts and doing all these things. So I really, really, really feel like this is an opportunity I wish, everything happens for a reason. So obviously there was a reason why it didn't work out the way it did. But I really feel like that was a huge opportunity that I wish I had taken on. But luckily, I'm still getting new opportunities to go different places. But I always wonder what my life would have been like, or what new opportunities would have sprung from me going on that trip to Iceland.
Yeah.
So that's my
Did
story.
she ever go to Iceland? Did she go?
Yeah, she's gone several times. Yeah, and she's in Australia right now. She's so awesome. I would love to have her on the podcast one day. She's like my love her. Yeah.
Yeah, I follow her. She has very good pictures. You don't find many girls like her, our demographic that do what she
Yeah.
does.
Oh, she's so inspiring to me. Like, yeah.
So you said you regret it.
Yeah, I do regret it. But luckily, we still talk about traveling together and doing new projects together. We'll still message each other back and forth on Instagram and stuff. So I think she's back in the States right now. So maybe when we go over to the West Coast,
You should
she
meet.
lives in Vegas, so she's not
Right.
far.
We
But
should
yeah,
meet.
I know there's so many people. I wanna meet up with Camilla, and if we could get Daya out there too, that'd be awesome. We could do a podcast together.
That would be cool.
So what's going on right now, you guys, is that all three of us are actually going to take a road trip to the West Coast. So we live on the East Coast in Virginia. All three of us are taking a road trip to California to drop Tiffany off at her new job at Nickelodeon. So
Yes. We're
To
so
round that up, Nija, you didn't go to the Iceland trip, but you have been saying you've been saying yes to a lot of these opportunities now that you're going with us. So how do you
absolutely.
feel?
I feel like now, after knowing what I know, anytime like someone gives me an opportunity, just like when you asked me not too long ago if I wanted to go to Tennessee, and it was like on like within hours of leaving,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yes, I'm starting to learn to say yes more when it feels in alignment and when it feels like it's feasible,
Mhm.
and even when the resources may not be there at that moment in time. I feel like if it is for me and if I set the intention, like the universe will conspire in my favor. So that's why I'm so grateful when opportunities keep presenting themselves. The more you say yes, the more you are opening yourself up to that higher timeline. Like you're just telling the universe, yes, I'm ready. Yes, I accept this. Yes, I
Yeah.
want to do this. Yes, I'm going to take this chance. And your life will transform the more you say yes to opportunities that are in alignment. That's what I think.
So Tiff, have you ever said no to an opportunity that you wish you had said yes to?
See, I don't think so. At least I cannot think of one off the top of my head. I can think of some that those opportunities that I didn't take and I don't regret it. And then I feel like there were some opportunities I had, but then for whatever reason it just didn't work out. I have those two examples.
Let's do the first example where you don't regret it.
Okay, yeah. So, and mine are like job related. So, well, both of these are two jobs. I'm like trying to think of other things that aren't job related. But basically, I had an opportunity to work at a radio station, a commercial radio station, and I turned it down because I felt like one, they weren't paying me enough for the experience that I have, and then I just had heard really bad things about this company in particular, and I don't regret it because then afterwards they let everyone go. So I don't regret that. So that was one, and then another opportunity that I kind of let go, and I don't really regret it, but a part of me kind of wishes I had. You know what? Maybe this one I might be like, mm. So I had an opportunity to interview. I had already interviewed with Fashion Nova to do social media content for them. And there's someone I wanted to work with, not in that way, but like as far as like them sending me clothes. Like that's how I wanted to work with them, like me wearing clothes. But this was actually like working for the company in LA. I had an opportunity. I did an interview, it went really well, and they wanted me to come out. And I declined the interview in person.
Ooh.
And I don't really regret it. I just don't think it was the right time. But a part of me is like, oh, that might have been nice. Like,
Yeah.
I love fashion and everything. But at the same time, I don't regret it after just hearing from employees that work there and all of that. So those are my two job-related opportunity things. Now, as far as like opportunities that I had that I wish happened, but it wasn't me that turned it down, I have two. And mine's a little similar to Jasmine's. It was so I got basically my friend was gonna be on a reality show on MTV, and she basically put me down as her friend, and it was a dating. I'm not gonna say what show it is because it was a whole bunch. But basically, she was on a dating show, and they like called me to be the friend, and it was during COVID, so I had to do like how we're doing now, like do a string with them. And oh my god, y'all! Like when the producer called me and started interviewing me, she was basically trying to paint me out to be, or us to be, really the black girls that like to fight. And neither one of us are those kind of people in
Mhm.
general. And so I was like, what? Like, and we were the producer kind of going back and forth because I produce too, and I was like, I would never say that. I'm not gonna be acting like I'm gonna fight the girls because then if they see this, then I'm gonna have to portray funny, similar to Jazz, and then I'm gonna have to portray somebody that fights and someone that
Right. Make you somebody who you're not.
yeah, Bad Girls Club, and I'm like, oh no, that's not good for me because I'd be like, no guys, let's keep the peace. But the thing is, I was a little sad because my friend got eliminated before I could come out, but I was kind of
Oh.
yeah. I don't know. A part of me wanted to go, but I'm glad I didn't at the same time. So
Yeah, because you're definitely a peacemaker.
We
yeah,
have a troll.
you do.
Oh
I was gonna say who
my
was
God.
the troll
Where
in
did
the chat.
this troll
I
come
mean,
from?
thank for commenting because it pushes us with more engagement. So thank you, sis.
Yes, boost us.
So I want to know, anybody in the comments, anybody who's watching, letting go of opportunities is fine. You shouldn't regret it. But I want to talk about how people cease to execute on opportunities because of fear. So Nija, I know you have like some big thoughts on like fear.
Yeah. First of all, fear crippling you, stopping you, creating resistance from I feel like life is all about expansion, and I feel like fear is the thing that stops us from expansion. But yeah, I mean, I that last story I just told was definitely, I don't know if it could have been a little bit of fear, fear of going to somewhere new like Iceland. It could have been like me not trying as hard as I could have tried
Mhm.
because of fear. I feel like that is what stops a lot of us. We
Yes.
we could try harder, but we're crippled by fear. So the safe thing to do is to not try so hard and say, "Oh, I guess it just didn't work out."
Yeah.
How do you get over fear, Tiffany?
Um, Getting over fear. I think taking control of those thoughts for me is a thing to get over it, because sometimes I've noticed with me, the things that I'm afraid of are in my own mind. They're things I created, whether that's like, oh, these people don't like me, or this might go bad. And it's like, I want to almost say, doing that, you're almost manifesting bad things. So
Oh
I
yeah.
always say to myself, like, no, you need to speak positive into this, because what you're thinking, what you're speaking, it literally will happen. And so getting over that for me is like just doing that, like speaking the positive into it and then walking in that. That really helps me get over fear. And then another thing too is like, fear also shows me that, okay, I'm uncomfortable, so I'm growing. This is something for me to, not to break me, but to build me. And so I like to think of fear as an opportunity for me to really learn, like, where is that coming from, and redirect that energy in a positive way. So
Yes, transmuting the energy of fear, like
Everything in
using
the
it.
Yes, everything in this life is energy. The more that you think of something you don't want, the more that you think of your fears, the more you're going to manifest it. We're all energy. Everything inside of us is living energy, and we do have the power to control our thoughts, which then computes to a more positive life. Because if you choose to be happy, if you choose to be positive, you are going to start living in that truth. Have you ever thought of one thought that then spiraled into a million other bad or negative thoughts, that more nightmares
yep.
in your thought process? It's the same thing. If you can spiral in fear, if you can spiral in what ifs and getting scared and emotionally attacking your own heart with your thoughts, then you can do the opposite of that.
Yes,
Mhm,
exactly.
absolutely.
So Nigel, you said you had some questions written down. Do you have another one?
Let's see. Okay, well, so I like to be very expansive and like optimistic. What would you guys consider to be the greatest opportunity that you would want to happen? Like you know what I mean? Like what is something that you'd be like, "Ah, wow, that'd be such a great thing. I would love for this to happen for my brand or for my business. This would be a great opportunity for me."
I think for me is to be discovered on YouTube and asked to go on the news or something, or
Mm.
a talk show, something like that. What about you, Tiff?
What would be it? There's like so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel, for me, like a huge opportunity, like obviously we're all content creators. I think just being able to do this like in a way that's like, this is all, like, it's like I'm completely like this is it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just creating content, for that to be it, but on my own, like, I'm trying to think of what the word is, on my own dime, because like I do it for companies and I have my own stuff on the side, but it's like I just want to be able to do it in a way that's like, it's me. Like, it's
Yes.
like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that for me would be the biggest thing. And it could be, similar to what Jen said, like, even if like it just picks up and I get different opportunities, like a TED talk or whatever. I just want to be able to do
TED
this.
Talk.
Yeah, be a
Ooh.
content creator full time, and that's my thing. Content creator full time, but not
Yeah.
like for a company, just for myself. You know, so
I'm in
that's
agreement with that. And the guys, the amazing thing about being in a group like this is us bouncing our dreams, desires, and wishes off of each other. We're creating an egregore. The people who are watching, them having positive energy and like we can literally make this ish happen. And
yeah.
I just find that so exciting. Just talking about it, being willing to be open about it. Our words are vibrations. We're creating it just by thinking about it and just by talking about it.
The more you have negative people in your circle, that when you do try to be a soundboard or you want them to be a soundboard for you and bounce off those ideas, the more likely you are not to take those opportunities because you're letting people's fears rub off on you. You may have gone into it with the most optimistic mind, with the most open spirit and open heart, but when you talk to that one or two people in your circle who are just like, girl, why would you do that? Like, are you sure you want, even though, are you sure you want to do that?
Facts.
What you mean by that? Like, why are you making that face? Like, you have to have people in your life who are going to reflect what you want. Nija, have you ever had someone in your life who did not reflect what you wanted them to?
Like when I told them my desires and they're like, ooh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. When I tell people that I want to buy a van and live in it, they're like, ooh, Nija, you're a girly girl. Are you sure? You do not seem like that type of girl. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. But yeah, definitely. Sometimes even love my sister so much, but there's some people who you talk to and they're emotionally they have something to offer, and then other people you talk to them and they're not the touchy feely type, and so they're just like, my sister is a Pisces. When I go to her and tell her my dreams, my desires, my wishes, she's very practical. She's like, oh, okay, okay. So you do have to know who you can and can't tell stuff to. It's not that you can't tell them, but you need to know who's gonna get excited with you and grow the dream bigger, and who's gonna just like be like, okay, well, good luck with that. You know what I mean? Like, you have to know who to tell certain things to.
Tiffany, you're going to California soon, and
Mhm.
before you got this great job opportunity, did you have anybody in your life who said you shouldn't go? You remember when you did the practice run? Who said
Yeah.
you shouldn't go because you didn't have anything?
Yeah.
She lost
Oh,
it.
what happened, Tim? The universe said we're not gonna tell that story.
Right when she had a good answer too. Hold
Yeah,
on, there
shut
you are.
I was like, what happened? I started talking. But so basically, I was gonna say right before, not even right before, but I could say honestly, maybe 10 years ago, at one of my first jobs, I was like, when they were like, oh, like Tiffany, because I was the youngest person working at the job I was working. Very good job, by the way. A city, you know what? I'm not gonna say what job, but it was a very good job. And I was the youngest person there, and they were like, oh, Tiffany, like, what do you want to do with your life? And I was telling them like I wanted to be a producer, I wanted to act, I wanted to make content, like, and I was like, I'm gonna move to California, to LA, and they laughed, like literally laughed in my face, and I just was like, oh, like, and that was like the first time, and these are like grown adults. It wasn't even like people my age. It was just grown adults, and I thought like, wow, like that was the first time I was like, oh, that kind of sucked. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna prove y'all wrong. This is what I want to do. And every year I was like, I'm moving to LA. Anytime I talk to somebody, I'm moving to LA. And I have plenty of people be like, but why do you need to move there? And why da da da? And I just was saying, one is something I've always wanted to do. And then I knew for the field we're in, the opportunities there, they're really great, honestly, and there's a lot I could learn. And if I didn't like it, I could come move somewhere else. But it was something that I knew I wanted to experience, no matter how long, whether that's 3 months, 6 months, a year, the rest of my life. But yeah, I had plenty of people that were like, no, you shouldn't do that because of whatever, and they just made up stuff. They never even been there before. They don't know anyone there. And just reflecting, I feel like their fears onto me. Like there were so many people like that, and I'm glad I didn't let it affect me. And I think when I first got the job opportunity with Nickelodeon, I was kind of like, oh man, like should I not take this great opportunity? Because I was starting to let people get in my head a little bit. But then I was like, that's not even my, like we just talked about, that's not even my fear.
Yep.
You know? And like you said, like, that's why you can't have people around you that are negative. And sometimes you want to share your stuff with people, but sometimes, like Nigel said, you can't share everything with everybody. Like, because some people, you got to know who are the people that are going to be in your corner, the people that are going to give you actual, real advice, and not just hating advice or just like something that's not even of substance, you know. So, yeah.
We have a super good comment.
Read
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to try to share her comment if it lets me. It's from Key or K.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh yeah, that is a good one.
Where are you though on the screen? I shared someone's thing before, but I can't
read it. You can't see it. I can read it if you can't.
No, I can read. Oh, here it is. I'm trying to share it though. Oh, okay. Wait. No, I don't want to block. Show. Okay.
Okay.
P or K. She says, I hear what you all are saying, and I say this in love. What happens when depression hits, when death hits, thinking positive and manifesting, and vibrations, and all of that of the new age practices sound good. And then the second part was, but will fail you. I really don't like how you say, but will fail you, like it's always a certainty. Now, what I do want to say is that we are not health experts. We are not therapists or psychologists, okay? So when it does come to something like this, if it is an actual chemical imbalance, then you can actually go to the doctor and they'll try to figure out some things with you. Now, that being said, I'm going to get really personal here.
Okay.
When I was, okay, I always said I wouldn't say this online. I've said it a few times before, but I didn't go into depth with this, and my heart is already beating. When I was in elementary school, pre-K, my dad was, I don't want to say that word because I don't want people to look at him like that, but he was abusive. He was mentally abusive, emotionally and mentally absent, and then I consider it physically abusive. I was depressed. I remember being 5, 6 years old and telling my mom that she needs to divorce my dad. I didn't use the word divorce. I didn't know that word back then, but I was just like, why are you with him? He's mean to us. Why are you with him? Leave him and stuff. And I used to stay at my grandma's house a lot because he was I was scared of him. I was so scared of him. And my grandma, before she passed, my brother used to say this because he's older. He's about 15 years older than me. 10 years older than me. And he said one time, Grandma, you were at Grandma's house and we were trying to get you back. Like you had to go home and you clung to her and you were screaming and crying and saying, I don't want to go back because he's mean to me. I used to be terrified of my dad. So I was depressed. I was super, super, super depressed and I wanted to kill myself. I think I was teenage years, around 12 or 13, I started to cut. And I used to tell people, I used to write down that I wanted to kill myself because I was. So my dad watched his mom be abused when he was younger, when he used to live in Puerto Rico. Oh no, I'm crying.
It's
No.
okay. That happened. Yeah.
That was deep.
And he used to watch her get beat up by both of her husbands. She had one husband who did it, his dad, and then another husband who did it. Now she's married to a great man. You know, he's my granddad. To me, that's my blood granddad. But my dad grew up around that. He didn't know how to love. He always said that if he was here physically, then he was a good dad. But he didn't know how to love, and he didn't know, how to. He was an alcoholic. He didn't know anything better. So I understand where he came from, but as a child, I was fearful. And I tried to kill myself. And my mom put me in therapy. And as I got older, the traits that my dad showed were coming out in me. And I think after my last serious relationship, it was about 4.5 years, I said, I blew up, I blacked out. I used to be abusive to one of my exes because of that. We were, heated arguments, and we put our hands on each other. Not right, but we knew where it came from. And I promised myself from the last day that I put my hands on him, I would never be like my father. So I cannot tell you in a clinical way, if you do have imbalances in your brain that make you depressed, I can't help you with that. You can't help yourself with that unless you go get professional help. But a therapist, and then you realizing that you can take control of who you are as a person. You can take control of your thoughts. My thoughts were spiraling of
Yep.
I hate my life. I hate my life. I hate you. I hate it was all negative. So I promised myself I would not be that person anymore. So when my dad left out of the house, I completely changed my life around. The girl you know today, the person who is positive today, who's manifesting today, who's in good practice of positive vibes, changed her whole life around because I chose to be better. So I'm not being mad at UK. I'm just saying it gets emotional. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
and
thank
Tiffany,
you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Seriously, Jasmine. Like, wow, like I really appreciate you sharing that. Um, I wanted to talk to this comment as well. One, like Jasmine said, I'm not an expert on mental health or anything like that, but I do know, and manifesting, thinking positive, I don't really feel like these are new age practices. I think maybe, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, but because when I think of manifesting, you could, depend on how you want to spend it, that could be praying and actually going and doing the work. And that's a part of what I think, because I know some people like, faith without works is dead. I know you've heard that. Because it's like, why would you pray for something? Why would you manifest something? Why would you say you have these dreams of something, but then you're like, okay, I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to sit on my ass. Now that what thing is not. And I'm saying that to say, or not even just manifesting. That's like, you have a dream, you'll never achieve that dream if you don't first say you have that dream, you have that goal, and then work towards that goal. So, and does depression hit? Definitely. Again, similar to Jasmine, I grew up in a very abusive home. A lot of people know that about me as well. I'm not even gonna get into that because I'm gonna be the same way she was, boohoo crying. Very, very abusive home, and you know, so again, I was feeling depressed. I felt like I wasn't good enough. My dreams didn't matter, and was literally being told that. You know what I'm saying? And it affected me in my relationships, because not even just romantic relationships, but my friendships, because I don't have a lot of friends now. And the reason is because I'm very closed, and I don't like sharing a lot of personal information, because when I feel like people get too close to me, then I feel like they have my vulnerabilities and they can hurt me. So one thing, when I started going to therapy a couple of years ago, the one thing we really we're working through, and still are, is me being open. And also, like when Jasmine started crying, I said, feel that, because I wouldn't let myself, if I had done that, I wouldn't have let myself even cry. I would have been like, suck it up, get it together, those tears, throw it away. And though you might think that's a great coping mechanism, it's not. It is not, because it is avoidance, it is flight, and it just makes you close off to situations. It'll make you close off to opportunities. And so I think going to therapy, I am an advocate for going to therapy. I think if don't know how to educate yourself as far as like getting a book or YouTube, and you really need someone else to see into your situation, I do think you should seek professional help when the depression hits, when the death hits, when anything like that hits. I am a firm believer in therapy and doing the work. And when I say doing the work, I mean it in all aspects of your mental health, doing the work when you feel like you're having a block. You know what I'm saying? It's like you feel like, for example, one of the reasons I started going to therapy too was because I felt like I was stuck in my life. I felt like things were not progressing. And I kept seeing then every situation, whether it was romantic, whether it was at my job, whether it was friendships, whether it was my goals, the same patterns kept happening. So I did seek therapy for that. And it started to open up, everything in my life. So yeah, when I would say, to answer your thing, let me go back. Yeah, when depression things hit, therapy. And and at the same time, thinking positive, you have to, because if you just keep thinking negative, you become that. you really do become that. Now, I'm not saying like, oh, everything's perfect all the time. I do think when you have those, times, because we all get sad. We all get to those points where we're like, man, I'm not doing what I need to do. Like, I'm not, I feel like you're having a bad day. It's going to happen. And I think you should acknowledge that. You should be like, okay, I feel like this. But now let me think about what's true and what's not true. And we're going to get rid of what's not true. And then we're going to figure out how can I get over this actual issue I'm having versus what I'm thinking negatively? Because the negative is not helping. It really isn't. If it's not constructive, it's like that is just their lies. It's fear. So that's what I would say to that.
My next question, I want to build off of this because I like where this is going. So, my question to both you ladies is, what do we do when we feel stuck and we feel like we're not reaching our dreams or our goals? Like, I know we've all been like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not always 100% thriving, 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 go, 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 hustle, hustle, hustle. Sometimes we get stumped. So, is there any advice you guys could give of how you get yourself out of it?
My high school quote in my yearbook was, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to rework the goal. If you fail doing that same goal the same way 3 times, stop doing it that way.
Mm.
A new action plan. We can keep the same goal, but we need to rework our action plan on, okay, going down this street always leads to the dead end. Why do you keep taking that street?
Yeah.
Why don't you do a U-turn and try a different street? So that's how I don't feel stuck with what I want to do. So for example, I just closed on my tiny house land, right?
Yay.
Yay, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
It took me a whole year to get to that point. And every time I almost got to that point, I hit a dead end. They were like, nope, please turn back around. So I was like, okay, that works. That way's not going to work. Let's try this way. That didn't work. Let's try this way. It wasn't oh, I failed, can't do it. It didn't work out. It was like, no, back to the drawing board. You rework and you try different methods to get there. I tried renting someone's land. I almost did it, but I was like, for the amount that I'm putting into this land, I could buy my own land. I tried going into another community, and that didn't work. And then I tried getting an empty lot, but it would have been too much money, didn't have the money for it. So restart, do it again. Then it came to 3 house closings. 2 of those house closings did not go through, literally at the tape. Well, one guy was about to sign the paperwork saying he accepts the offer. He didn't. He backed out. The other people signed the paperwork, but then when we got to closing, we had to push the closing because they needed to redo the paperwork, the appraisers, for a 3rd time. And they pulled out. They were like, we could have been sold this house to someone else. Your lender's playing. We're canceling the contract.
Yeah.
We were supposed, I was like, oh, it would have been just another week. Like I had to let it go.
Yeah.
This one almost didn't go through. We signed the papers today. Almost didn't go through. But I was already prepared to think of, okay, this doesn't go through, let's get back on and try a different way. So that's my story of how I never feel stuck, is that I always try different plans. There's always some other way to do it.
Yeah.
What about you, Nija? Do you have any ways that you?
For me, whenever I feel stuck, what helps most is kind of like what you said, but creating new routines. There's typically like something in the old that has me stagnant and in the same energy. So I love creating like morning routines or nighttime routines or exercise routines. Like sometimes you just need to move your body to move the energy around in your life. Like,
I
um,
love that.
so
Nice.
yeah, creating new systems, new routines,
Sometimes
creating structure for yourself.
to build off what you said, and it may sound very minute and stupid. Sometimes when I feel bored or stuck, I sleep in a different position on my bed.
Ooh.
Feels foreign, which I like because it's like a whole reset. You know how normal people, if your pillow's right here, your headboard's right here, you'll sleep like that. When I feel, I don't know, when I want to feel displaced in my life, but like a renew, recharge, resetting, I'll sleep at the edge of like the end of my bed, like
Oh,
where your feet go, I'll sleep down there. And it feels so different and new, and it just throws me off track, and I love it. So like you said, a new morning routine or something you don't do added into there. And it literally starts off like, wow, this is nice. This is different. Very minute, but it works for me. What about you, Tiffany?
Yeah. I don't really have much to add because I agree with what both of you said. I do think like when I start to feel stuck, is definitely a thing. I'm like, okay, what am I doing here? And how can, like Jasmine was saying, like, how can I get around this? Like, what is a different way that I can approach the same goal? And another thing, just I guess the only thing I could add is like, how can I, in the meantime, help myself get to that goal? Because I think sometimes if I have a goal and I guess like there's a bit of a waiting process, I kind of like, okay, what do I need to do? Like, do I need to do more research on this? Is there another opportunity that'll keep me in line but teach me something on the way? So yeah, I don't really have much to add to that because I feel like what both of you said, I totally agree with. Just finding new ways, processes, and of course, finding new ways to approach the same goal. So yeah,
Yeah.
I completely agree with y'all.
I think if you're feeling stuck in your life, you guys, that like the end of this of what you should take from this is if you're ever feeling stuck, try something new in your routine. I love that, Nija.
Yeah,
So maybe try a morning walk. If you stay in bed for a really long time, maybe try getting up in the morning and going for a walk for like 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be long, but try something new and different. Get yourself out of that routine, and that's how you start practicing being a better person for yourself. That's how you practice good habits in the first place. Also, start positive talk. I
yeah,
talk to myself very positively. So when Nigel was here in Tennessee and I was driving, and I don't, we were going down the rocks,
oh, yeah. It
mountain.
was like, yes.
Really saying like, okay, we can do this, we got this, we've got this, we're doing it. It's only a mile, it's only a mile. We were only speaking positive things in it, and it made our spirits uplift a little bit more. Yes, we were scared, but we were positively enforcing that we can do this, or at least I can do this. I was saying we though, because she was in the car with me, her life was in my hands.
I mean, yeah, positive self-talk is everything. Like our word is our wand. We are creating our reality through the things that we're saying. What we believe about ourselves is what we will experience. So if you believe the best things about yourself, that is what you will experience. Our reality is a cultivation of our beliefs. We're just experiencing our beliefs. So if you are not reaching your goals, if you're not crushing it, if you're not doing it, you might have a belief that is saying, I can't do this, or I'm afraid to do this, or
yeah,
I don't want to move forward. And it's okay. I feel like, again, I really want us to have a conversation one day about hustle culture, but like,
yeah,
you don't always need to grind. Like, sometimes your body is like, I need a break. Can
Yeah,
we relax? I feel
yeah,
exhausted. I'm depressed because I want you to sit the first down, right? So, like, it comes with listening to yourself, and then it also comes with knowing when you're in cycle to go and when you're in cycle to sit in your on your hands and be
and
with
it's
your
okay to sit.
yeah,
emotions.
I need to
Right.
sit. A lot of
yeah,
people
Right.
think that I go, 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 and I do, but girl, I be sitting sometimes. I be out of me. I'm taking a nap all day. If
Mhm.
my things get canceled, that's God telling me, okay, go to sleep, and I will sleep.
yeah,
I will not. I will no longer not put my health first.
yeah,
So also, I
yeah.
want to say that when it comes to positive talk, if you wouldn't say it to your best friend, if you wouldn't say it to your mom or about your mom or about your best friend, why do you say it about yourself? If you say that you're a failure and you're stupid, would you ever say that to your best friend? So why do you say it about yourself?
Mm.
Think about that next time you want to be negative. You would tell your best friend that she can drive
So
that,
true.
she can get that job. She can get that man. Go talk to him. So if you would say that positive talk to someone else, why we need to practice that on ourselves.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And just to like piggyback off of that, our bodies are our minds, they're just like so powerful, and we really just have to take care of them. And like, Nigel was saying, like, sometimes you just need to take a break. And it's like athletes, your car, like anything of like that you take care of, you put great gas in it. It has a time to rest. You get maintenance. You get whatever. Our bodies are the same ways. Our brains are the same ways. And nothing that you use tangibly can be used all the time. And I think it is a little weird that we feel like that about our bodies, that they can just keep going without rest, without being replenished, without giving it the correct fuel, whether that's food, whether that's mental, spiritual. So I just think taking care of yourself, again, as I agree with them, taking care of yourself is just so important.
For sure.
So, you guys, I think that will wrap up all of our topics on not taking opportunities that do not fit your brand or your morals, not failing to seize opportunities, execute opportunities when you do see them, and then also getting rid of the negative talk that telling yourself that you can't. And then also depression. I did like that question a lot. So Key, I think instead of having the call in for today, I love that we did Key or K. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Highlighted comment. That was such a good comment, and it made.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Everything is not love and light. Everything is not every fairy. Sometimes it gets dark, and we gotta address it.
Yeah, it was a great comment.
And that reminds you, everybody that you see is positive. I've actually had people hate me because I was so positive. When you really sit down and talk to me, I have some demons that I still have nightmares about. So
But you're working through it,
working through it. And I always say, feel the fear, work past it, and feel the sadness, the depression. Feel it because you need to. That's how you actually get rid of the avoidance. Is you actually feel it. Why is it happening that way? And then work through it. So I no longer hide what happened to me when I was younger. I won't bring it up on myself, but I no longer hide it because I know I need to heal from it. And then I'm on that journey still. I still am not 100% healed. I'm getting better though.
Yeah.
I want to say if we ever all feel comfortable, I would love for us to do a family or upbringing segment where we talk about some of our upbringing programming and why it has led us to be the way that we are and how we've had to upgrade our beliefs due to our upbringing. I think that'd be a lot to unpack.
Ooh, that's gonna be a long one. And the problem is that we're going to be exposing family secrets, and it's needed, but it's hard because it does affect other people.
For
That's a
sure.
good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it later.
We're gonna talk about it because you're right. That upbringing, how you were raised and the things you saw, it definitely affects the decisions you're making now as an adult. Things you didn't even know affected you. So yeah, I think that's a great topic that we should definitely discuss.
Oh yeah, it's coming when we're ready to expose everything. But everybody's been through something. So I want to really thank everybody for coming to the first podcast on opportunities, missing opportunities, getting opportunities. And I really appreciate all of the comments and really getting us in. Someone did ask let's do a quick run through for chat boxes. Someone asked us, how old is everyone? I'm 28. My birthday is November 11.
I'm 20. I'm 26. My birthday is December 4th. I'm a Sagittarius.
I'm 29. I'm gonna be 30 soon. Not really. I'm never gonna turn 30. So
wait, life is about to get good.
When's your birthday, Tiffany?
Oh, my birthday's in June. I'm a Cancer.
Oh,
I'm like a dancer.
Okay, we have what's the next episode? We actually had all of our episodes written down, but because I left my journal all the way in Virginia, I don't know. But what should the next episode be? I guess
it could be soon, but you guys, we also are gonna be recording content together. We're about to be on the road together, so there'll probably be vlogs out of all three of us, probably. Yeah. And when we're all together, we'll probably do some kind of recording when we get settled into California. So yeah, the content to come.
Either next week or the week after that, depending on how long we stay in California together. But we will be leaving the 26th, and
Wait, guys, don't tell all of our business.
well, it's at the end of the month. So when it's going to be either next week or 2 weeks from now, I will say that. And we will actually put up the advertisement for it. This
Yeah.
was really impromptu because I'm stuck in Tennessee, and I was like, you know what? I said I was going to do it, so let's just do it. And yeah,
I
so
like the style of going live like this. I love the interaction. I feel like it brings something to the conversation.
exactly.
I
Let's
love
see if there's any other questions. Something I'm working on. Kate has been just going off in the comments. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Nothing wrong with therapy. Yeah, I think there wasn't too many questions. There was just a lot of reactions to what we were talking about, which is what I really love. So next time on the podcast, ask your questions, really get into it, because we do want to pick someone from the comments to come live with us so that you guys can interact with us, especially if you disagree with us, so that we can hear your thoughts and things that you let go. So I really hope that this helped you level up a little bit, really see some insight. And we will see you guys in the next podcast. Remember, follow Nija. I'm going to have to caption this. So Nija's Instagram is at
Nice.
Nija Sim. Let's share that. So hers is at Nija Sim. Did I spell it right? Can you see it, Nija?
Yes, looks perfect.
Yeah. So she also has her YouTube channel, Nija Sim, and you can follow that as well. And then Tiffany, is it Tifa GTV?
Yeah, it's Tifa GTV on all my
Tiffany
socials.
GTV, also on YouTube.
But on YouTube, it's Tiffany Gregory. But if you type in Tifa G, you can find all my stuff like on
Yeah.
Google. Like I'm the
So this
person.
is hers.
So
So I'm putting them all here, as well as you guys can type in the chat box really quickly, so people can do that as well. And then
oh,
we
I
will,
didn't know I could do that.
yeah, you can
Can I
type
do that?
maybe.
I don't think I can.
Okay.
You
Well,
can
on all the chat boxes after we get
Mhm.
off in the comment section, you can do that as well. So we will see you guys next week or 2 weeks from now. We will be putting it up on my YouTube community section and on Instagram, on everybody's Instagram, when we will be going live. So I hope to see you guys again. Thank you so much for coming. I said I was going to do a podcast. Here we are doing it, starting the year off. So we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.